Hello class, welcome back to the week 12 material, and in this segment we're going to actually set up a web page using HTML content. Before I get into it though, I do want to go ahead and mention that the stuff we cover in this class, what I'm going to show you during the course of this week is going to be a very small scratch on a very large surface, sort of an extension of the phrase barely scratch the surface. There is a lot that you can do with web pages and web programming. And if you're really interested in learning more about that, there's a link in the description below that will take you to an online resource that has pretty much anything you could possibly want to know about setting up web pages, the things you can do with them, stuff to that effect. But this is just going to be a very basic introduction on how to actually set up web pages using HTML content and whatnot. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to go back onto the server, which is hopefully becoming a pretty regular exercise at this point. And we're going to go back into our public_HTML directory, because once we log into the server, it by default takes us into our home directory. So we have to go back into public HTML to make any changes to index.html. And the same command to create a file is the same command to edit a file. So we run the gny command. You see it has what we have, and you see it has what we had. Oh man, I cannot talk. You see it has what we had last time, what we left off with. So the basic structure for HTML is HTML uses a series of tags. You have an opening tag and a closing tag, and then everything in between that's what's kind of takes the value of that tag. And hopefully this will make more sense once we actually start demonstrating it. But the basic structure for HTML is it looks something like this. And again, one of the nice things about gny is since it recognizes this is an HTML file given by the extension here, .html, when you create a tag, an HTML tag, it'll automatically create the closing tag for it. And some of these tags take on different functions, but the main thing that you want to concern yourself with is what's located between the opening tag, which you can recognize here, and the closing tag, which is on the right-hand side. And the way you can tell that it is the closing tag is the closing tag will have the / right after the less than symbol here. So that's how you know that this is the opening tag and this is the closing tag. But the basic setup for an HTML file goes something like this. So we'll go ahead and put some stuff onto the screen. So I'm introducing a whole bunch of HTML tags here. And let me go ahead and add some extra spacing here so it's a little bit more readable. So the HTML tag, which is the one at the very top here, this basically marks the starting point for all the HTML content, and then this one down here marks the ending point for all the HTML content. So all the web page content should go in between the opening tag, the opening HTML tag, and the closing HTML tag. And then the head tag, within the head tags, that's where we can store information about the web page itself. For instance, the title of the web page, what sort of character set to use, what language the web page is written in, stuff like that. Just general information about the web page itself would go inside the head tag, and there's other tags that we can use to accomplish that. And then the body tag is what's actually displayed for the user to see. So this would be the body of the web page, or all the texts and images and fancy doodads that are designed to show up on the web page. All that information goes within the body tag, and information about the web page itself goes in between the head tag. And we can go ahead and demonstrate something that we can put in the head tag, which is the title of the web page. So again, I'll go back to here, which is what we had before. You can see the little text that appears at the very top here, this little text right here, that is in fact the title of the web page. And you can also recognize this by, if you minimize it, this works on Mac or Windows, but if you mouse over it, that little text that you see popping up above the little icon here, the little text up here that fades when I mouse away from it, that is in fact the title of the web page. So you can also see this if you open a new tab. So I'll go ahead and open a new tab, and you can see the title of the web page also shows up here. And the way that you set the title of the web page is to use the title tag. You can see it automatically. One of the nice things about gny is it automatically adds the closing tag for you. And then whatever you put between that will be the title of your web page. So I'll say my awesome page. And anytime you make any changes to this index.html file, you want to make sure you save it first before you try to go view it in your browser. So make sure you save it. And then if you go back to the browser, the way you view the updated index.html tag is just simply refresh the page. So there's a keyboard shortcut for that, or you can click the little refresh icon. You can see it doesn't look like any text did show up, but you can see the title of the web page did in fact change. So this text in the tab here shows the web page is now this. The title also shows up there. And if I were to minimize this again, you can see the title again shows up over the little icon there. So if you don't include this title tag in your HTML file, the browser will do a couple things potentially. One is it will just display the URL leading to the web page, which is what we had earlier. Sometimes it will also display whatever the first bit of text it sees in the web page is. So whatever the first bit of text it finds in the body tag, it might display that as the title, but usually most modern day browsers will just display what the URL is leading to the web page if there's no title given. And the way you change the title of the web page is you just simply put something in between the title tags shown right here. And then within the body, like I said earlier, that's where you can put the actual contents of the web page itself. So I'll just say, I'll just go back to the hello world example. So whatever is in between here, that is some text that will actually show up to the web page. So again, I'll go back here and refresh it. Make sure I saved it first. Okay, yeah, it's saved. And you can see it actually prints out some text now. And there's a lot of stuff you can do with the text. In fact, the next segment we're going to explore some of the various things that we can do with styling text, making it more fancy. So that's what we're going to cover in the next segment. But for now, I think that's going to cover it. Just a couple takeaway messages. This is the basic setup for an HTML file. HTML tag, everything in the web page goes in between the HTML tag, and then information about the web page is contained within the head tags. In this case, we just looked at an example of giving our web page a title, and then the actual contents of the web page, that is the stuff for us to see, like the hello world, that is contained within the body tags here. And again, every opening tag should have a closing tag in order to avoid odd behavior. And the way we know there's an HTML closing tag is if it has the / before or right after the less than symbol here. So that's a very basic introduction to HTML. And in the next segment, we'll actually discuss how you can make the text fancier and some of the stuff you can do with it. So with that, I will see you in the next segment.